Welcome YouTube. Welcome to YouTube. Remember that?
Welcome to YouTube. Yeah.
Welcome YouTube. Today on the Hit or Miss Show, we are talking about Captain America.
The icon.
The icon. As always, we have the big dog right here.
Yeah.
I'm lucky, y'all. We have everything we need for this video. We have our beverages. We have our Florida State flag. Sorry, it's being blocked right now by the only prop we had for Captain America.
Mainly the Avengers in general, too. I mean, it's got...
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I wouldn't count Captain Marvel as an Avenger, but that's just my opinion.
You can't really see Captain Marvel, so...
That's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, anywho, we have the topic, we have the Florida State flag, and we have Big Dog. What else could you want for a perfect hit or miss show? Big Dog, take it.
Alright, well, today we're talking, like I said, we're talking about Captain America, but before we get into that, let's talk about what enhancements we've made to our show.
Alright, go ahead. Knock it out.
We got a GoPro.
Yeah.
So we have a better camera now, which means we can do more videos. I don't have to worry about uploading them as often as I need to.
Right.
We don't have that 30-day grace period.
Right, right.
Because, you know, sometimes life gets in the way and you can't do things like you want.
Yep.
Life sucks sometimes, you know?
This is actually our first
video with the GoPro.
Right. I don't know how the sound quality is or anything, but from what we can tell from the pictures, it looks alright.
Mics are on the way. Well, we're going to get one mic and see how it sounds, and then...
Yeah. We haven't quite figured it out, but we'll get there. One step forward, y'all.
Yep.
So, Captain America, man.
Captain America. You know, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby came up with Captain America in the 40s. Matter of fact, Stan Lee was in the Army.
Yeah.
During World War II.
Uh-huh.
And his job was working for the paper for the military, Stars and Stripes. And his job was comics, the comic section. So he came up with Captain America, and almost every issue, Captain America must have knocked out Hitler 90,000 times.
That even shows itself in the first movie.
Yeah, when he goes up, when Captain America goes on the USO tour and selling war bonds.
And he ends up,
Because think about it, Captain America's first heroic act of duty, selling war bonds. Whoopee.
This is our prop today. Like I said, it's the only thing we could find with Captain America. This is this dude right here. This is his new updated outfit. You know, of course, his old one had the silver ears and not the ears, but the thing that came off his helmet.
Yeah, this is the one they used in, if I believe, this is the one that he wore in Endgame.
Yeah, I think it was. Not 100% for sure, though.
Because in Infinity War, him and Black Widow and a few other Avengers that were on the run, thanks to Captain America's Civil War, started resistance to help fight in the shadows.
So what is your favorite thing about Captain America?
What he stood for.
Alright, I can respect that.
What he stood for. He stood for the American people, and he also stood up for the little guy.
Yep. Which, this is why this is coming out on Independence Day. Happy Independence Day, YouTube.
Yes, happy Independence Day, YouTube, and to our subscribers out there.
Yeah, our hit or misters.
Yep. And this is a hit. Captain America is always going to be a hit.
Even if you don't like the guy who plays the him in the new movies, particularly, still the character itself is iconic.
I don't know. I thought Chris Evans did a pretty good job as Captain America.
I got beef with Chris Evans right now, but we ain't talking about that.
No, I mean, as not so much as the person, but the character he portrays in the movie. He
did a good job playing him.
Yeah. His personal life is kind of shitty right now.
Respect the art, not the artist.
Yeah. But yeah. He had several comic books. They even had a radio show.
Did they?
In the 50s, they had a radio show of Captain America. It didn't go very well because the Batman radio show was killing it.
Yeah. Well, see, with
and the Superman radio show was even more.
With Captain America, he had like a certain moral code, right? Like he didn't kill.
Oh no, he killed. He killed Hydra soldiers.
Oh. Okay, I thought he didn't.
He didn't kill anybody who didn't. Like if someone was shooting at him, yeah, he will kill somebody out of defense.
Right, but I mean when he was in the Avengers and like he went to like situations, him killing someone was the very, 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 very last resort.
When
he was an awesome tactician.
Oh yeah.
He had augmented abilities. You know, not like. He was very strong.
He was a super soldier. He had a super soldier
He was
serum.
He was a little bit faster than a normal person.
And now, when I talked about
smarter.
When I talked about him sticking up for the little guy,
mm-hmm.
In the first movie,
well,
I loved how they made him look so skinny in the first movie.
Right. You know that part where he transforms and she goes to touch and she goes like that? That wasn't actually part of the movie. That wasn't planned.
Yeah, she got aroused just by touching his pec.
Yeah, his abs. Yeah. But like the reason he sticks up for the little guy is because before he was Captain America,
before he was like, Urgh.
Right, he was Steve Rogers, and Steve Rogers was this puny, asthmatic kid, couldn't get into the army.
From Brooklyn.
Well, they accepted him. A doctor accepted him to do experiments on him, which was the super soldier serum.
Yeah, because he didn't know, because he knew never to quit. He was the underdog.
Right, his whole life. Even when there was in the drill boot camp, and he's like, this guy's worthless. And he takes out a grenade and he throws it, and everyone else scatters, except tiny little Steve Rogers. He gets on it and says, move out of the way, move. Then it doesn't go off.
That reminds me, like, Tommy Lee Jones plays the general in that movie.
Right.
And his first impression of Steve Rogers was, you stick a needle in that kid's arm, it's going to go right through.
And just to clarify, we're talking about Captain America, Steve Rogers, not Captain America, Bucky, or the Falcon, Sam Wilson. Yeah, Sam Wilson.
That's going to come in a later review, but...
Right, but
this is before the Avengers. This is like the first Avengers. This is the team...
very first. That's his name, the first Avenger.
Yeah, this is like the first team that he formed to go after Hydra during World War II.
So, anyways, what happened is after he turned into
Super Soldier,
he goes.
An assassin kills the doctor.
Right, assassin kills the doctor,
and he chases down the assassin because the assassin stole the only vial left.
Right.
Of the super soldier serum. And in the chase, he ends up dropping the vial and it breaks anyways.
Right, and like Captain America gets him, and in the movie, I'm not quite sure with the comics, but he gets the soldier out, and instead of the soldier spilling his guts, he just takes a cyanide pill.
Yeah,
kills
one of
himself.
his teeth is...
Yeah, false.
Yeah. Which is kind of genius, really.
Right, and we go from that to him going to see the Red Skull, and he gets, in the comics, I believe he gets strapped to a rocket.
Yeah, they changed that in this movie.
Right, he was in a ship, and he was trying to steer it. It was a bomber.
Yeah, the
high-tech bomber.
Well, they said that the only way to stop the ship was to crash it.
Right.
So he picked a destination that wouldn't hurt anybody, which was the Arctic Circle.
Right, and he got frozen in this cube of ice.
Yeah.
Come, 40 years later?
Well, he crash landed on a lake that ended up breaking apart, and then the ship falls into the lake. Now, they sent a rescue team out there, but by the time they got there, they didn't realize that the ship was already sunk into this lake. Right. They didn't know where to look. And for 70 years...
Oh, 70. I was mistaken.
Yeah, for 70 years, they finally find him. And Howard Stark was the one who
Tony Stark's dad.
Who led the expedition to find him. And then when he died, Tony Stark took over trying to find Captain America because S.H.I.E.L.D. couldn't figure it out.
No. Well, in the movie, Howard Stark did find him in the movie.
No, it was Tony.
Nope, was Howard. Nope, it was Howard. No, it wasn't.
No, Howard found the Tesseract.
No, right. I'm sorry, I'm mistaken. Howard was his friend when he went in. It was S.H.I.E.L.D. that found him.
Yeah.
Not Tony Stark, it was S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
And it definitely wasn't Howard Stark because it was 7 years in the future.
70, yeah.
I stand corrected, y'all.
Because Howard died in 91 by Bucky.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So we fast forward 70 years later. Captain America defeated the Red Skull. He saved the world.
Mm-hmm.
And he moves on, and he wakes up in a hospital with some 1950s or 1940s baseball game playing, and he's like, this is not a new game. I remember being there at the ballpark, and he realized that this whole place was a sham. He takes out like 20 guards that come in there and try to stop him.
Right, then he gets out into the real world.
And Nick Fury's standing there, badass as always, saying, Captain America, you've been sleeping for a long time.
Yeah.
And we need to have a talk, basically.
And he gets out and like there's these modern cars around. Captain America's just awestruck.
Which is funny how they have the hospital located in the middle of Time fucking Square.
But as far as the character goes, I didn't really know about him till like later on in my life. Because I wasn't into comics for the longest time.
Well, Captain America was
kind of, sort of, but not like super into it.
Well, Captain America was one of those heroes that was kind of on top for a while and then got blended in.
Right.
Because it was one of those. Because at the time, the biggest, like I said, at the time, the two biggest things was Batman and Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Captain America was in the middle. And unfortunately, like I said, his comics were number one.
Yeah.
But his radio show was like number 3.
Mm-hmm.
They made a movie in 1990.
Oh yeah, that one sucked.
It sucked, but it was the closest interpretation to the comics at the time.
Yeah, because they actually strapped him to a rocket.
Yeah, but instead of launching him to the Arctic Circle, he crash lands in Alaska.
Yeah.
And
still cold.
Yeah. Which is kind of funny because the guy that, the reporter that goes to find him is the guy that plays Otis from the Superman movie.
Yeah.
And, but, yeah, they changed a lot of it when they came out, the first Avengers, instead of strapping him to a rocket, and they had him on a ship. Let's see. Yeah, like I said, he's a great character. He's a great role model.
Right.
Eventually, he trains the new Avengers.
Tries to stick up for the American way, life, liberty, and blah blah blah.
And he tries to give people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Like in Captain America: The Winter Soldier, not Winter Soldier, Civil War, he has a new team, which consists of Black Widow, Falcon, Scarlet Witch, and Vision was kind of there, but not really because he was back at headquarters. But he took them, he trained them up to be better.
Right. Yeah.
Because at the time Thor left, Iron Man, Tony Stark pretty much retired at the end of Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
And the third Iron Man movie, and so this is like going to be a
Protocol, House Call.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah. And
this, or something. I don't remember.
House Party.
House Party, that's what it was.
And it was just kind of a reference to the movie House Party. And I didn't realize that the first time I watched it. I'm like, because Tony Stark is always referencing stuff from pop culture or stuff from the 80s. And like his opening theme when he arrives somewhere is usually AC/DC something.
Yeah. But, remember when first Avengers came out?
Oh.
Man.
That was a box office hit.
Yeah. That was phase 1 too.
Yeah, that was the end of phase 1. And the funny thing about it is, it was, for weeks, you couldn't see it in theaters because it was sold out for weeks. And what it was they geared it more towards kids. And, but the adults still loved it. I loved it.
Right, yeah.
And then when they came out with Age of Ultron, they made it more towards the adults. And, but we're going to talk about Age of Ultron.
Another episode.
Another episode, because that's another great movie.
Right, so,
But after phase 1, Marvel kind of went down. I mean, I think it was like phase 1, phase 2, about phase 3 and 4, it kind of went.
Yeah, started going down.
But they redeemed themselves with Guardians of the Galaxy. Which we'll talk again at a later episode when we do our Infinity War series.
Right. But, so like, who is your favorite bad guy?
Whiplash.
Of
Captain America Whiplash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine would be, if I had to say anyone, it would be probably the Red Skull.
Oh yeah, I mean, the guy that portrayed him in the movie was Hugo Weaving, and he's always been a great actor.
Mm-hmm.
But him as the Red Skull, he did a really good job.
Most definitely.
But I would have to go with Whiplash only because he created what Tony created.
Right, like his dad was.
Yeah,
We'll
nuclear
hit
physics.
that in
Yeah,
Iron-
we'll hit an Iron Man 2, but which is still part of Phase 1, which is weird because like they had the first Iron Man, the second Iron Man, Thor, and then they came out with Captain America just before they released Avengers.
Uh-huh.
And that's only because they didn't know how well Iron Man 1 and 2 and Thor was going to do, but they blew out box office records. It was amazing.
So, all in all, Captain America on our hit list.
We are going to do a full movie review eventually.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen it, so we have to rewatch it so we can get every key part of it. You know, we take a movie and try to condense it into 20
But
minutes.
today
but-
we're just talking about the character himself.
right,
and,
like we did with Batman.
Now there for a while, Marvel before they sold out to
Disney
Disney.
sold out- I mean, before Marvel sold out to Disney,
Yeah.
they actually released a set of comics featuring Captain America as a Hydra agent,
Mm-hmm.
as an undercover Hydra agent,
Mm-hmm.
infiltrating Shield, and it got such a bad rep that they actually pulled the series off the shelves because nobody wanted to see Captain America portrayed as the bad guy.
Yeah.
And if anyone's lucky to even have a copy of that, one day it's going to be worth a lot of money because, like I said, they only had a limited run.
Right, definitely. So, Disney bought it out, Marvel, obviously. I'm not super happy about that.
Well, at least they didn't do as bad as Star Wars selling out to Disney. That just went from bad to worse.
Right. But, like I said, pretty much on the whole, fucking Captain America, he great.
He's a great guy.
Well, his comic book's great. He's
His
not a
char-
real guy.
No, but I mean, his character's a great guy.
Right.
He's even when he's outside of his character and he's just Steve Rogers, he's still like the gentleman.
Right.
You know, and that's just how he was. Even growing up, he always said, yes, sir, no, ma'am, yes, ma'am. Because that was just the way he was. He respected
Like in the
everybody.
original Avengers movie where Thor comes in and Black Widow's like, you might want to leave this one alone, Cap. That's, he's basically a god. And Captain America says, there's only one god, ma'am. And he don't dress like that.
Yeah. Then he jumps out, and the pilot's like, did he just jump out without a parachute? And Black Widow's like, yeah, he does that. hey, when you are a super soldier, you don't rely on silly little things like parachutes.
Right. You got that shield to break if you fall.
Yeah, right? Besides, if he broke a bone in his body, he'll just heal up almost instantly.
Yeah. So, we get that done.
In a whole, Captain America will always be the first. Not only was he the first Avenger, but he was the first comic book illustration that Stan Lee and Jack Kirby worked on.
Mm-hmm.
And it came out at a time when the world needed a real American hero. I mean, yeah, you had your Batman and you had your Superman, but you know, Superman had all these powers where Captain America, the only thing he had was super strength and
Well, not super strength. He was stronger than the average
Average
guy.
guy, but
He
he was-
wasn't superhuman strength.
yeah, but he was still a guy.
He was still stronger than the normal guy.
Yeah, he was still an all-around guy. Like he really didn't have any other powers besides.
Right. He didn't really have any other powers except he was the peak specimen for the human race.
Oh, and he couldn't get drunk because the serum boosted up his metabolism so high that
It just burns the alcohol.
yeah, because they make a reference to that in the first movie where he's sitting after Bucky gets killed. We're going to talk about that in another review. He sits there in a bar trying to drink and drink and drink, and he says, he's like, I had 4 bottles of whiskey and I haven't gotten drunk because my body burns it off faster than I take it in.
Yeah.
And that's the only time in the franchise that you see Captain America actually drinking.
Yeah. Well,
Because he doesn't do drugs. He doesn't. Well, he did that one time drink, but other than that, he's a clean cut American. And when he got thawed out, he kept in shape. You know, they show him working out in the gym and running.
yeah, Captain America's great. What do you guys think about him? Put it down in the comments. As always, like, share,
Subscribe, ring that bell.
Ring a ding, y'all. Ring a ding. This has been the Hit or Miss Show. As always, I'm Lucky.
I'm the big dog, and we're kicking off Avengers Month.
Happy Independence Day, y'all.
Happy Independence Day.